Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Punishing Gray Raven reaction, and as I've promised for the last 2 weeks, we are finally here at the DMC collab with Paradox. This is azusaTaxhi again, and I'm very excited to hear another song from them. They've recently climbed very high on my ladder of producers, especially in PGR, just being as good as they are, so I'm excited to hear more, especially with it being a collaboration. Usually that tends to breed some other interesting takes on music, so I'm really excited to get to this one finally, and without further ado, let's go. Already. Woo! Let's go. Yeah. That's exactly the sound I was hoping to hear from a Devil May Cry collaboration. Utilizing that era of rock and metal. Very fight riff. Oh, I love that. Woo. Throwing in some triplets. Okay. Ooh, more than triplets. Playing around with some time signatures. That's a more modern approach to metal. Not that it hasn't been around forever, but within this sound, I would say it's fairly fresh. Ooh. A tonal shift. And it's coming back in. Double time it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Woo. Got some hurtas on the bass drum. Playing around with those patterns. Again, very of the genre. I love that. I love it when they break it off like that. Oh, the siren. Let's go. Hell yeah. A little bit of delay on that one. Another shift. Ooh, big shift. Oh. Now we're actually moving the genre more. Hell yeah. Throwing in a little bit of PGR. You know, you gotta do that. Whew. Just as filthy as the riffs, dude. A great blend of the worlds here. We going back? Oh, we gotta be going back. Yeah, it's starting to blend them a little bit better. Fully. We still have those acidic synths in there. I can hear the electric guitar underneath it all. Blending it with the choir. Oh, man. That's so good. I really want to hear them both like go full bore. Maybe here? Woo. Ooh, getting a little fancy with it. Just like earlier. But now they're like blending the two. More synths. The dance beat stuck on the 4. Keep the 4 on the floor and mess around with everything else. The halftime. Oh. I'm a slut for the halftime. What can I say? Where are we going now? Oh. Oh. An emotional switch up. Hell yeah. Kind of knocking on the door of like symphonic metal here. That's very Devil May Cry. Woo. Come on, pinch harmonics. Can't get more early 2000s metal than that. Let's go. And just gonna wrap back around. Yep. Damn. What a combination. I loved how they blended all that together. I mean, usually when they do team ups like this and, you know, collaborative efforts, they try their best to make the music blend together. This might be one of the best, if not the best collaborations musically I've heard to date. Before I get into too much, I do want to clarify that I have not played Devil May Cry at all. I've heard some of the soundtrack in my time. I've never played the game, but I've also never played PGR, as I'm sure you're all aware. And as a result of that, some of the references that may be in here are probably lost on me because I don't know all of the themes and all of the stuff that could be, you know, just kind of scattered about throughout this collaboration. The one I did pick up on, though, was the storm that is approaching. I definitely heard that motif in there, that last section. A beautiful rendition, bringing in the symphonic metal to that. Really nicely done. Subtle too, not just going straight for throwing in the original vocals or anything. Just like, hey, let's take this and adjust it, make it feel a little bit better in the collaboration. And it kind of fits the theme of PGR a little bit better, having the female vocals in there. It just kind of ties the world together a little bit. It just sounds beautiful and still just as haunting. A little less aggressive, obviously, but you don't really need that specifically for this collaboration. So I think this is a brilliant way to blend those together. And what a great place to put it, you know, just putting that highlight on, that spotlight right at the last verse, like, oh, it's so good. But to harp specifically on how well this was blended, I've got to get into that. So everything we got at the beginning was exactly what I was hoping for with the guitars. Again, very early 2000s riff, like battle riff. If you don't know what fight riffs are, that's what that is. It's very riff driven. It just has guitars that are just going, it's a feeling, you know, like it's a vibe that existed within that time span, and a lot of people don't use it much anymore, but I personally don't think it's dead. It's just adjusted. Metal's doing something a little bit different these days, and that's all fine. Usually more complex rhythms and techniques and just very like aggressive on the finger style stuff. A lot of that could be summarized into what is basically an athletics check for a guitarist. It's like, hey, how complex can we make this that sounds really cool? And I love the way that new solos do that and new riffs do that that. It's awesome, but I do, of course, have the space in my heart, that little spot that'll never go away for like the 2000s riff heavy, just going for it again with a lot of pinch harmonics. You gotta have them in there. It's just, it's such a vibe and something that'll never be replicated in music. It was just an era that everyone was angry and it existed because of that. And it might come back a little bit, but who knows? You know, like time is time, people are people, things kind of ebb and flow in music, and that's going to happen. So maybe we'll get that again, but at least for now, that is its own very unique era of music. And this did such a good job at paying homage to that genre, utilizing all of the knowledge of it, listening to clearly a bunch of metal from that era, and just utilizing everything they could to make it sound as good as possible and as authentic as they could. I mean, even down to the drums, like I was talking about, a lot of interesting patterns, especially on the double bass, like having the hertas in there. And just to explain what hertas are for those who don't know, because it's mainly a drummer term, but if you know what a triplet is, a da 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 da, like rhythmically, that's a triplet. A herta is similar but not the same thing. A herta is it's more like a gallop feel of a triplet. So if a triplet they kind of feel similar and they can come out similar if you don't know what you're doing and you're not aware of the difference, but there you go. If you can hear the difference, you now know what the difference is. And that was definitely a thing that existed again in that span of time. People still use them, but they were a lot more prevalent in the metal scene, especially for drums at that point. So again, they're doing a really good job at like the historical accuracy of the genre there, and I just adore how much they did in every aspect. The bass lines were basically perfect, no pun intended. The electric guitar was ideal. The drums had so much homage to it. I cannot get over how well they did the metal side of things. They did have that spot in there where it was a little bit more modern, than they took the odd time signature approach. That's a lot more of how modern metal does, but I like that they did it because they still made it its own thing, bringing it into the modern era while also paying all of that homage to the old stuff. Just like with the electronic stuff, they threw it in there and they sounded so much like Halo Week and Ghost Final at certain parts during that I was actually wondering if they didn't have a hand in this. But I think that one's more just because azusaTaxhi's worked with these people and probably knows the ins and outs of their production line and can replicate that relatively, and it just sounded so good. So not only are you getting the like OG rock metal sound that DMC is known for, but you're also getting a lot of reference to the older stuff from PGR itself and the producers that have been here forever. So azusaTaxhi did an amazing job at just listening to everything and putting it into a bowl, and it's just a beautiful pudding. It's a pudding because it's sweet. It's not a salad because I actually want to eat it. That's probably the fattest sentence I've said today, but I'll stand by it because damn, this was beautiful and I love it and I want more of it. I'm kind of bummed it took me this long to get to this, but I did have some stuff in the way that I just couldn't get to it yet, but I'm glad I finally have, and I'm really hyped to hear more stuff from azusaTaxhi going forward, because if this is what they had for a collaboration, and I already loved the stuff that they put out before, I can't wait to see the future of them making music for PGR. This is just some fine A+, you know what, screw it, S+, SS+, SSR, the highest possible rank you can think of. I don't know how the ranking system works in PGR, but whatever that one is, that's what this song deserves. It is brilliant. I dare say perfection. You know, this is just everything good about everything involved, done with the utmost care, love, and attention to every single little minute detail. And that is not only difficult to blend everything so perfectly, but also that it's free to listen to. Like, this is some premier shit. I feel like I should have paid money to listen to this. I am absolutely floored by how beautiful this is. azusaTaxhi, you outdid yourself on this one, and I almost feel like a better person for having listened to it. I feel like a lot of people probably feel the same way. What an amazing job by azusaTaxhi here. But I think I've yapped about this one enough, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you have something else you want me to get to from PGR, by all means, leave it in the comments below, and I will do my best as always to get to that. Or otherwise, if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for other stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!